Bell Time by Sophie Tuvey. Chapter 19. This is definitely not where I expected this evening to end up, but I'll take it over cocktails any time. Maybe this is the other side of Michael that I thought I'd never see, the smouldering version. Maybe it wasn't all in my head in the store cupboard. What do you want to do about Tyler? Michael asks. Okay, maybe it was just in my head. I look at him quizzically. Most guys would have started removing my clothing by now. I examine Michael's face. He definitely looks flushed. It's not all in my head, but he's pulled back a little and he's not pushing this any further. I don't know, I finally answer. He may well have gone off somewhere else now. I suppose he can't wait around for you. Michael frowns. Even so, I think I'll feel happier if we install some better security at your flat. I don't want you to go back there tonight. Aha! Classic romantic trope. Maybe there's only one bed here and we'll just have to share it. I'm moving closer, about to kiss him, but he pulls back again and places his hands on my shoulders, keeping us slightly apart. Jen, he stammers. I didn't bring you here to take advantage of you. I smile. He's genuinely sweet underneath the Terminator persona. I know, I tell him. I was the one who told you to drive me away, remember? And this is all happening quite fast, he continues, looking slightly panicked. I don't think we should... we need to take things slowly. I'm not in a rush. I give my best suggestive eyebrow arch. Nor am I, he says, in a final sort of way. He clears his throat. I am happy to drive you to your dad's if you'd like to go there, or I have a spare room here. I blink as my various imagined romantic montages vanish. He doesn't want to sleep with me. Is this a good or a bad thing? Is there a particular reason? I begin and trail off, looking at him questioningly. Do you not find me attractive? He gives a wry smile. I thought you were intelligent, he teases. Of course I find you attractive. Is it really that unusual for a guy to want to take things slow? Yeah, in my experience. Cue montage of Jamie, George, and Ryan. Ugh. Why don't I show you the spare room and then you can make a decision? I follow him upstairs, enjoying the soft, luxurious carpet way too much. My eyes are darting faster than someone in hypervigilance mode as I make a mental inventory of every paint shade, picture, and plant pot. Everything is convincing me that he is the real deal. In every part of his life, Michael has got it together. I wonder what he would think of my flat. Just in here. He flicks a light switch to reveal an immaculate bedroom, painted sky blue with crisp white bed linen. My friends' spare rooms are always piled up with laundry and junk. Last time I stayed with Dina, there was nearly an entire gym in her guest room. I tripped over the cycling machine when I needed the toilet in the middle of the night. Michael obviously mistakes my silence for reluctance, so he hurriedly says, but no pressure. I really don't mind driving you anywhere, really. I look at him and grin. Do you have any spare pajamas? It's definitely surreal, changing into Michael's PJs and being in his spare room. I open the drawer of the bedside table, almost expecting to find a Gideon's Bible just like a hotel. There's a towel, soap, and a toothbrush. Does he have many guests? It all looks very unused. There's an unopened box of tissues, and it makes me think that this room isn't often occupied. Do you need anything else? He calls from the landing. I empty my handbag. I definitely did not foresee this scenario when I packed lip gloss and a free perfume sample. Do you have a phone charger? My battery's almost dead. I wish I had a silk scarf for my hair, but never mind. Katie always lectures me about taking better care of it. This reminds me I haven't told Katie about the revelatory turn this evening has taken. I pull out my phone and send her a text to update her on my new relationship status. Katie. When can I meet him? Me. Give me a chance. I'm not ready for those worlds to collide yet. Katie. Does he have a brother? Me. No. Get back to your revision. Jen? Michael knocks the door. Come in, I call, discarding my phone. He steps inside and offers me a charger, clearly both happy and terrified that I'm here, in his pyjamas in his spare room. He obviously didn't expect this to happen either. "I hope everything is okay," he manages to say, blushing and hovering near the door. "This is perfect," I say. "Thank you so much." "I hope you sleep really well," he says, rearranging the bathrobe hanging on the door hook. "I was going to go out for a run in the morning. I'll try not to disturb you." "Sure," I say, amused at the idea. I could hardly imagine Michael barging in when he was clearly struggling to even get past the threshold. "Are you going to give me a goodnight kiss?" He steps over and brushes my cheek with his lips. "Don't look at me like that," he warns me in mock seriousness. "Any more than that and I won't be able to sleep." "You know where to find me," I say flirtatiously. Michael blushes a fiery red and I laugh. "I'm joking," I reassure him. "Well, a bit." "Good night, Jen," he says and closes the door. I shake my head. Who'd have thought that Michael would be the one to hold back? All my great plans of seduction have well and truly come to naught. And yet, I don't feel unhappy. Michael didn't betray me to David after all. He asked me to be his girlfriend. Instead of being alone in my greasy, cluttered flat, I'm in Michael's 5-star spare room. I sink into the bed and close my eyes. This is what amazing feels like. Morning light pierces through the curtain when I wake up, so I know I've had a solid night. I grab my phone to check the time, 8:30 a.m. I'm momentarily confused by the absence of clutter on the bedside table and the scent of fresh linen, and then I remember, I'm in Michael's spare room. My raw stream of consciousness is a mass of confusion. Michael likes me. I hate David Clark. I'm wearing Michael's PJs. His house is perfect. I want to stay here forever. I kissed Michael last night. What is he going to think when he sees me? I need to get to the bathroom and sort myself out. I hope my hair is okay. I throw off the sheet and I'm just about to stand up when I see it. Blood. This can't be happening. There's a red stain seeping through Michael's jog pants and there's a blot on his pristine white sheets. Damn it! I'm going to have to make a run for it. As I tiptoe dash out of the door and shut myself in the bathroom, I reflect on my emotional state last night and feel a sense of relief. I'm not crazy. I just had PMS. That's why I was crying all the time. I use a load of loo roll to create an improvised wad. Michael's bathroom is well stocked, but I think he hit his limit at female sanitary products. What am I going to do? I'm going to have to find a corner shop or something. I steel myself and open the bathroom door. Nothing. "Michael?" I call. No reply. He must have left for his run already. Well, at least he doesn't have to see this. I go back to the room to survey the damage. I'm going to have to chuck it all in the wash. I start stripping the bed and then consider what I'm going to wear to the shop. Do I wear the black dress and look smutty, or Michael's dressing gown and look slummy? It's got to be the dress with a coat over the top. Plus, I need to wash Michael's joggers as well. I throw on my dress, bundle up the pile of laundry and head downstairs. I shove it all into the machine and grab the detergent. I press a button and it whirs into action, though the duration of the cycle flashes up as 3 hours. Oh well. I look around for something to write on to leave Michael a note. A Specsavers advert will do. Gone to shop. After consideration, I add an X. Then I grab the back door key and slip out. Walking around this estate in daylight, it looks very well kept and expensive. He probably thinks I live in a hovel. I have no idea where I am, so I load up a map on my phone and amble in the direction of where I think there may be a shop. I make a few different circuits before I finally find something. Everything's extortionately priced, and as I deliberate between brands which make increasingly implausible promises, I hear a voice which turns my blood cold. "Do you have any aspirin?" It's David Clark. I'd know that slimy voice anywhere, but I still look over to see him standing at the till. What is he doing here? "There's more options in the aisle over there," the assistant says. I quickly look at the shelves. Feminine hygiene is right next to painkillers. Makes sense. Like a bad pantomime, I whip myself round to the dried goods section and pretend to be very interested in overpriced muesli as I hear my nemesis find himself some medical relief. Maybe a short, sharp blow to the head would do it. There's a slightly damaged box with a reduced price sticker on it, and the reduced price is double what a normal cereal would cost. It makes me strangely nostalgic for the chaotic newsagents next to the chip shop, where Nikos has a huge trolley full of Kit Kats that are 3 months out of date, and an endless supply of leaflets. I listen to David's footsteps and hear him pay at the checkout. Once the door opens and closes, I exhale. Does David live around here? Did he and Michael buy houses off-plan together? If they were neighbours, it would make more sense of Michael's desire to stay on David's good side. You wouldn't want to tell David off for raving in the middle of the night with 90s music blaring. However, you wouldn't want to be forced to attend David's parties either. Feeling spooked at this near miss, I grab the cheapest packet and head to the till. I hurry back to Michael's and let myself in through the back door. I'm about to shout something like, "Guess who I just saw?" when I hear David Clark's voice again. "It's not just a game of golf," he says. It sounds like he's in the hallway. I breathe in, even though it makes no difference to my overall body mass, and press myself against the wall. "I think he wants to tell me the plans for Whitlock, and I really want you to be there." "I don't think I'm free," Michael says. "Do you mind if I just use your bathroom?" David asks. I can hear the panic in Michael's voice. He must think I'm still in the spare room, but David doesn't wait for an answer. I hear the stairs creak as he walks up, and I've never been more grateful for my period than this moment. I walk through the kitchen to the doorway, where Michael, red-faced and sweaty from his run, still hot though, double takes when he sees me. I wave my arms around, and he signs for me to go into the understairs cupboard. It's like charades, but there's no TV option. I crush myself in amongst ski jackets and shoes and pray that David won't open the door. I can hear the floorboards creaking overhead. How long does it take to use the bathroom? Why is David walking around up there? Then it hits me. He's looking for me. He's supposedly called in at 9 a.m. on a Saturday, the first day of half term, because he's expecting to find me, possibly naked, in Michael's bed. I shiver at the thought. Focus, Jen. He's not going to find a trace of my existence, but while bringing a measure of relief, that doesn't make standing in Michael's shoe cupboard any better. What am I, a criminal? I'm plastered into a coat rack, holding a pack of sanitary towels when I really need to go to the bathroom to actually use them. And here is David, snooping around Michael's house like he's in a crime drama. Finally, I hear the noise of David coming down the stairs. Or rather, I feel the vibrations, given that the wooden underside is inches from my face. I've got to get showered, so I hear Michael awkwardly trying to end this spontaneous catch-up. Sure, David says. Enjoy half term. The front door closes and I hear a car engine outside. Michael opens the cupboard door and I stumble out. Sorry about that. I panicked, he says. I straighten my coat. Clearly. Please tell me that you can see now that he was coming here to spy on you, to catch us out. Really? Michael looks incredulous. Why would he bother coming out here unless he was genuinely on the way? He told me he's going to his mum's and she lives in this area. Well, he won't have seen anything, I say, although we might need a more long-term strategy than jumping in cupboards. Sorry, he says again. Do you want some tea? Yes, I reply automatically, and I'm going to the bathroom because I, unlike David, actually need it. What's all this stuff in the washing machine? Michael asks when I come downstairs. I just thought you'd want to wash the sheets. You didn't have to do that. Actually, I did. He hands me a mug of tea and I can see sweat glistening on his forehead. It's quite attractive in a primal sort of way. Glad I saw you from the hallway, he continues. If I'd come home and seen the bed stripped, I would have just assumed you ran away. I left you a note. I hold up the Specsavers advert. That's completely unnoticeable. Where have you been anyway? To the shop. Why? Classic Michael, doesn't know when to stop. You know, women's problems. I hate that phrase, but what else do you say? If Michael was less red, he would probably go pale, but as it is, he remains a slightly different shade of puce. I put the wash on and maybe I should get the other set of clothes out of your car. Sure, keys on the hook. Once I'm dressed in my crumpled work clothes, I help myself to breakfast and wait for Michael to emerge from his toilette. The cereal selection is somewhat lacking, so I make a note to recommend broadening his range. Should have bought that expensive but reduced muesli after all. When he enters in jeans and a t-shirt, it's so different seeing him in casual clothes. He looks so much more human. I don't know what aftershave he wears, but I love it. "You're quiet. What are you thinking about?" he asks, grabbing some bran flakes. "Nothing." After breakfast, we climb into his car and head back to my flat, stopping off to get something for added security at the retail park on the outskirts of town. The DIY store is a huge warehouse with a polished floor and seemingly endless aisles of paint, tools, and building materials. "This looks good." I select a fairly cheap CCTV camera and turn towards the checkout. "Wait a sec." Michael picks up a different box. "Let me just compare them." I guess everything in life gets subjected to the Michael Chase scrutiny. Just then, a guy rounds the corner into the aisle with a slightly familiar face. This is the problem with teaching in the area where I grew up. He could be a parent, or maybe someone I went to school with. There's a lot of people to bump into around here. As I struggle to eliminate possibilities, a girl follows him pushing a trolley. Rose. She's got earbuds in and she's glued to her phone screen, so hopefully she doesn't hear me as I yelp and dash into the next aisle. Michael probably hasn't noticed I've gone. I stand in an aisle with a range of adhesive signs. Toilets, fire exits, beware of the dog. The only noise I can hear is the tinny music from the store speakers. I'm wondering if Rose will notice Michael, and if she does, whether she will speak to him. "Jen?" Michael stands at the end of the aisle, so I grab his hand and pull him into mine, then put my finger to my lips. "Shh, Rose." I point to the other aisle. Like spies, we tiptoe through the signs and then we're into the bathroom section. We're using the fake wall to hide behind, with a toilet right in front of us. Right, I calculated that this one, although slightly more expensive, is more cost-effective. Michael holds out the box. "That's fine," I say dismissively. "Let's get to the till and then out of here before we meet the whole class." Furtively, we check both directions before joining the shortest queue at the front of the shop. There's just one guy in front of us buying light bulbs. It's Joseph Vermont. "Hi," I say awkwardly as he takes in my creased leftover from yesterday outfit. I mean, who would choose to wear a skirt and blouse on a Saturday? "Hi," he says. It's the most he's ever said to me, and it's only because Michael's standing right there. "You guys are out early." Oh no, he thinks we had a thing last night. "Michael's helping me install this at my flat," I gabble. "I have some security issues, really urgent." Michael gives me a stop talking look. Great." Joseph looks unsure how to respond. Thankfully, the cashier gives him a receipt, and it's his cue to leave. "Have a good half term," Michael says half-heartedly, then runs his hand through his hair and sighs as Joseph walks out of the exit. "He thinks we're sleeping together," I say. "What does it matter what he thinks?" Michael says, when clearly he's rattled as much as I am. "You're not the one dressed in yesterday's work clothes." I indicate my crumpled shirt. "You don't even know him," Michael says. "I know that he's probably texting David right now, rendering my hiding in your cupboard completely pointless." "Do you want to buy that?" The cashier is looking at me with raised eyebrows. "Oh, yes, sorry." I hand her the box to scan. We return to Michael's car, and I'm still scanning every direction for signs of pupils or colleagues. It's a small world around here. Once I've climbed inside and buckled my seatbelt, Michael starts the engine and looks questioningly at me. "So what are we going to do when we get back to school?" "I don't know," I say, "but I don't want everyone to think I threw myself at you and moved in with you on our first date." "Not sure exactly how I can clarify that." "Don't treat me any differently in school. Treat me the same as everyone else." "I don't hang out in anyone else's classroom, only yours." "When you say hang out, you really mean walk straight through it?" "It was one of the ways I got to see you more." Smooth. I roll my eyes. He drives to my flat, and while I can finally take a shower and wear some normal clothes, he fits the camera. I'm beginning to think he can do anything. "So if Tyler decides to pay you a visit, you'll have evidence to prove it." "Do you think he will?" I ask with a stab of panic. I don't know. It depends what he's involved in, really. I sit down on my mustard-coloured sofa, which has my favourite quilted blanket draped over it. It's the thought of being sat here, on my own at night, and the noise of someone outside the door. It terrifies me. I know it's only Tyler, but who will he bring with him? What will they do? What if I need to go somewhere and they follow me and attack me once I'm in an empty street? My movements are pretty predictable. You're worried about it. Michael comes to sit next to me, lifting the blanket to examine it first. If they show up, what should I do? Call the police and explain it's harassment. But if they've just shown up outside my door, that isn't a crime, is it? The Protection from Harassment Act defines it as causing alarm or distress, so yes, I believe it would be. How do you know that? I look at him in surprise. He flushes. I did a joint degree, English literature and law. I stare at him for a second. There is a lot I don't know about him. That actually makes sense given a number of your characteristics, I muse. Sorry, did I say that out loud? I'd ask you what that's supposed to mean, but I don't think you'd give me a favourable answer. He smiles. Do you want some tea? Classic avoidance tactic. I head into the small kitchen area. Steph texts asking me how I am. Me. Better. Don't worry about me. Catch up soon. Kiss. When I return to the lounge, Michael's engrossed in his phone. You don't take sugar, do you? No, thank you. He takes the cup and places it on the table, then turns to face me. I've got an idea.